Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic. How do the Bible, Quran, and Gita each view the creation of the world? These sacred texts offer unique perspectives on how the universe came to be, and by analyzing them, we can better understand the foundational views of creation in Christianity, Islam, and Hinduism. With the help of AI, we can approach this topic in an unbiased, evidence-based way, bringing out insights that reveal the depth of each worldview. Let's begin with the Bible's view of creation. In Christianity, the creation story is primarily found in the book of Genesis, the very first book of the Bible. Genesis describes God creating the world in 6 days, beginning with light and ending with the creation of humans. Genesis 1:1-3 opens with, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters." Here, we see a portrayal of a powerful God bringing order and life to a chaotic void. Each day, God creates something new: light, sky, land, plants, animals, and finally human beings in His own image. On the seventh day, God rests, marking the completion of creation. This structured sequence emphasizes intentionality and purpose, portraying God as a sovereign creator who designs the universe with care and order. From a deductive perspective, we can interpret the Genesis creation story as a representation of divine authority and order. For Christians, this story not only explains how the world began, but also establishes a framework for understanding humanity's role in the universe, as beings made in God's image, with a responsibility to steward the earth. Next, let's examine the Quran's account of creation. In Islam, the creation narrative is dispersed across several chapters, or surahs, of the Quran. While it doesn't follow the exact sequence found in Genesis, the Quran describes a process of deliberate creation by Allah. For instance, Surah Al-Anbiya 21:30 states, "Do not the disbelievers see that the heavens and the earth were a closed-up mass, then we opened them out?" This verse suggests an origin where the heavens and earth were initially joined, hinting at a process of separation or expansion, a concept that some interpret as similar to modern cosmological theories. The Quran also emphasizes Allah's power to create simply by commanding. In Surah Yasin 36:82, it says, "His command is only when He intends a thing that He says to it, 'Be,' and it is." This concept, known as kun fa-yakun, or "Be and it is," illustrates the power of Allah's will. The Quran doesn't describe creation in a literal day-by-day process like Genesis, but speaks in broader terms, highlighting Allah's sovereignty and the ease with which He creates. Inductively, the Quran's narrative on creation reflects an emphasis on divine power and wisdom. Allah's ability to create with a single command showcases His ultimate authority. For Muslims, this view of creation reinforces the belief in a single, all-powerful creator who shapes and sustains the universe according to divine wisdom. In Hinduism, the perspective on creation found in the Gita and other Vedic texts is distinct. The Bhagavad Gita itself doesn't focus extensively on creation, but it does describe concepts that frame the universe as a manifestation of the eternal Brahman, the ultimate reality. In Hindu cosmology, the universe goes through endless cycles of creation, preservation, and destruction, overseen by different aspects of the divine. One of the central texts that describes creation is the Rigveda, which discusses a primordial being, Purusha, whose body is sacrificed to create the cosmos. This idea represents the interconnectedness of all things, where creation is not a one-time event, but a continuous process of becoming and dissolution. The Gita reflects this cyclic nature, with Krishna explaining in chapter 9, verse 7, "At the end of the age, all beings, O Arjuna, enter into my nature, and at the beginning of a new age, I send them forth once again." From a deductive perspective, Hinduism's creation narrative emphasizes an eternal and cyclical process. The universe is continuously created and reabsorbed into Brahman, representing both change and permanence. Unlike the linear perspective in Christianity and Islam, Hinduism sees creation as an infinite cycle, with no absolute beginning or end, reflecting a more fluid and interconnected view of existence. So, what do these different perspectives tell us about the nature of creation across these religions? Christianity's creation story in Genesis emphasizes a purposeful, linear progression, where God designs the universe with intention and order. The Quran's account also highlights intentionality, but adds an emphasis on Allah's effortless power, depicting creation as an expression of divine will without struggle or complexity. Hinduism's perspective, on the other hand, views creation as part of an endless cycle, with each phase governed by cosmic principles rather than a single linear event. From a deductive approach, these differences reveal each religion's unique understanding of time and existence. In Christianity and Islam, creation has a defined beginning, suggesting a more linear view of history with a clear start and ultimately an end. Hinduism's cyclical view suggests that creation is less about a singular beginning and more about a continuous process, reflecting a worldview that sees existence as ever-renewing. What implications do these views of creation have for believers in each tradition? For Christians, the Genesis story gives meaning to human life, as people are seen as stewards of a purposeful creation. The belief that humanity is made in God's image provides a foundation for human dignity and moral responsibility. For Muslims, the Quranic view reinforces submission to Allah's will, emphasizing that creation belongs solely to Allah, who guides and sustains it. This belief fosters a sense of humility and reverence for the natural world as a sign of Allah's wisdom. In Hinduism, the cyclical view of creation encourages a sense of detachment from material life and an appreciation for the ongoing nature of existence. The focus is less on a single life or moment, and more on the journey of the soul through countless lifetimes, ultimately aiming for unity with Brahman. This perspective fosters a holistic understanding of life, where each individual is part of a larger cosmic rhythm. Inductively, we see that each creation story shapes distinct cultural values and spiritual practices. Christianity and Islam emphasize the human relationship with a single creator, reinforcing moral accountability. Hinduism, with its emphasis on cycles and rebirth, encourages a broader view of the self and the universe, emphasizing spiritual evolution over time. So, what can we deduce about creation from these perspectives? While each tradition views creation differently, they all suggest that the universe is not random, but is instead shaped by a higher order or purpose. Christianity and Islam view this order as stemming from a single creator who set the universe in motion with intent and purpose. Hinduism, by contrast, sees the universe as a manifestation of an eternal principle, where creation and destruction are two sides of the same cosmic cycle. If you found this comparative exploration insightful, please like this video and subscribe for more discussions on the intersection of faith, philosophy, and the nature of existence. Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you interpret these views as complementary or fundamentally different? And if you know someone who would find this topic enlightening, please share this video with them. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to uncovering more profound insights with you in our next episode.